Greetings and good evening. Welcome to the RoundTable, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025. Bonsoir, comment ça va? I am Drew, and I am one of the two co-hosts of the best live sports talk show all across the internets in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we had the NFL opening weekend, and all of the games are in the books now. 16 games that were oddly enough very exciting. No matter the team, no matter the division, no matter the matchup, no matter last season's record. These games all came down to late fourth quarter drives all across the NFL. I myself enjoyed the majority of these games watching NFL Red Zone on Sunday, and the quad box was quite active, when it came down to crunch time. And as my man Scott Hansen loves to say, witching hour. So these games, the first week, the defense seemed to be a little bit better than the offense across the NFL. Just a general statement, right? Because only 3 games even climaxed at 30 points for either team. But that one game that we're going to talk about right off the top is going to be very interesting to talk about how these teams go forward. I am looking forward to the conversation tonight. Welcome to the Roundtable family for joining us. Before I introduce Griff, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow the Roundtable on all social media platforms at the Roundtable_live. Brother Griff, how are we?
Hey man, hey, look man, we even had us some great football. The first weekend of football in the NFL and the first weekend of college football last week did not disappoint. That's all I can say. I've been looking forward to getting on here and having these conversations, and I just want to say good evening to the round table. Harold, I see you. Melissa, I see you. Troy, I see y'all. Welcome for joining us, and make sure that you send the link out to your friends. I tell you every week, man, make sure you bring somebody with you so they can come in the conversation. And don't forget to get your copy of Don't Talk About It, Be About It.
I would pull mine out, but it's kind of tucked under the
Okay.
other books there. But I got a separate copy. I'm gonna have that out on Friday for you. Anyways, man, you are absolutely correct, bro. It was some games that happened this past weekend, culminating last night, starting way back. Seems like an eon ago with the Cowboys and the Eagles on Thursday night football. Then Friday night football, where you had the Chargers and the defending AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then we rolled into Sunday, where every single one of these games that we're going to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you can point to say that, well, that team has potential no matter the outcome, or this is that same old team doing that same old stuff again. And man, let us begin with Sunday night football. It is so much to talk about this game. I have my thoughts as to why this game unfolded the way it did, why it played out the way it did, and why we have the outcome that we have on Tuesday night instead of what many people thought the Ravens were going to come away with a dub. Griff, before I allow you to do your play-by-play breakdown, I want to get the emotional member of the Roundtable family to come on camera tonight and kind of explain to us why, yet again, we are talking about the most talented team across the National Football Conference or National Football League, and yet cannot get a dub when it counts. Like, what is really going on in Baltimore? Before you start, Jordan, and welcome once again, my man. Before you start, I don't want to hear nothing about the offense. I don't want to hear nothing about a turnover. All I want to hear about is the coaching and defense. Talk to us, bro. What happened?
Man, the Ravens are playing not to lose. I don't get why they keep doing this. It's like, oh man, Ravens, we are in for a long season. I just want to let you know that they showed their true selves right there. The coaches have not made the key changes that we needed all off season. We should have corrected these things. And again, in the fourth quarter, we're looking flat. We just melted away. And it wasn't the offense. It wasn't the Derrick Henry fumble. There's like way too many more factors on there about that. I'm speechless, I'm speechless.
As am I. Griff, what do you think happened? Was this a collapse by the Baltimore defense? Or was this just the grit of the Buffalo offense and the never give up attitude that Josh Allen has whenever there is a big game? He always, to me, and this is just my educated opinion on his performance in big games, he outplays his team on most of these big platforms. And he did so again on Sunday night. Keon Coleman had a phenomenal game. But was this a Baltimore collapse like my man, Mr. Jordan, is talking about? Or was this more of we are the Buffalo Bills? Recognize that we have Super Bowl aspirations as well. We are just as favored as the Baltimore Ravens. We are probably better, in our opinion. Which one do you think it is?
I think it was like what Jordan said, man. Honestly, I think it's time for a coaching change, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. It was 7 minutes left, and right after I think Derrick Henry scored that last touchdown, score was 40-25, and I said it's no way, it's no way. I mean, the way that the Ravens, the Bills couldn't stop the run, they couldn't stop the run. I said, okay, you know what? I got an early ride in the morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Lo and behold, I wake up, I see the text message traffic between y'all. I look at my timeline. I said, what happened? So I get on and I'm like, man, these jokers actually lost this game. That's coaching, man.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, man, the coach is responsible for keeping them guys' head in the game.
Absolutely.
You know, I went back and watched the end of that game. Y'all got away from the run again.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to throw it. You want to start trying to throw the ball, which again, you can put your defense back. They already tied. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the fumble for me was not the reason. I mean, it changed the momentum a little bit.
Absolutely.
But still, you go right back out there and give it to that hog again. Because Derrick Henry he had almost 200 yards running the ball, man. I'm like, man, Derrick looked so good that night. I said, man, yeah, he shooting for 2,000 again. Hey, Karen said she hears just so she don't get fined.
Yeah, I saw Karen's comment. I was like, yeah, I understand the frustration that you have, Karen. I too, Griff, am in agreement. This is not an on the field talent issue. This is not a we don't have the right people in the right key positions type of issue. This is the best team talent wise in the National Football League, and it is a coaching problem. John Harbaugh is coaching for his job. I said it in our season opener last week. I believe if the Baltimore Ravens don't win the Super Bowl because of anything but injury, John Harbaugh needs to go. I mean, the way that you have a fourth quarter collapse again, and please stop thinking that Baltimore is a defensive minded team in 2025.
Exactly. There's no Ray to save the day.
Not at all.
There's no Ray to save the day.
No. You're going to score. Dare I say, Jordan, you said we're going to have a long season.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say the 2025 Baltimore Ravens just might look a lot like the 2024 Cincinnati Bengals, where the offense just outperforms everybody, but the defense ensures that the opposing team remains in the game. Or was just a bad game for the defense? Because we remember, these are the Buffalo Bills we're talking about, right? It's not just that Baltimore collapsed. You have the reigning MVP on the opposite side of the field, right? And you know he has a gun. You know he has the capabilities to bring a team back regardless of who he is playing against. So it's not necessarily all Baltimore's defense's fault. 90% of it is coaching. The other 10% is that defense because, as you mentioned, that offense is clicking already in week one. And Derrick Henry got me my fantasy football league victory.
I got my W.
I think I lost to Troy.
Yes, sir. So shout out to Derrick Henry, the king in Baltimore, and of course, Caleb Williams brought me over the finish line last night with that game, but we're going to talk about that a little later. So, Jordan, wrap this up, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you foresee Baltimore still being the best team in the National Football Conference or Football League, or do you believe that the possibility of a long season based off of coaching and defensive woes, setting aside injury, could be very frustrating for y'all and keep y'all from your ultimate goal?
But we're definitely not going to win the Super Bowl this year, guys. If you're a Ravens fan, I just want to let you know that until we
Already?
make those changes, it's the same thing every single year. They give us all this hope, all these promises. We fix it. We fix it near the end of the season. We look great. We get the best roster every single year, guys. It's not the roster. It's not the players. And
Wow.
until we make these key coaching changes in there, we're not getting that chip. So I got the Ravens in the divisional round of playoffs this year, and then they're probably gonna head it out. They done it.
Come on, man. Oh, ye of little faith, man. It's early, man. It's early.
We'll see. I'm gonna clip it. Y'all
gonna make
I love them. I love them. I'm just saying, don't get your heart broke this year because it happened. I can't even tell you how many years it's happened. It's the same story written over and over again, guys. So but Lamar is still the best player in the NFL, and I appreciate you guys.
Man, I tell you, the more things change, the more things stay the same, right? We talk about the talent that you have on the field and the possibilities that the Baltimore Ravens have. I'm a little disappointed in your week one vision for the future, their big guy, because these are the Baltimore Ravens that we're talking about. Oh, ye of little faith, like Griff said. They started 0-2 last year. Don't forget, they lost to Troy's Raiders in week 2 and then ended up in the divisional round. Now, granted, they may have lost home field advantage on Sunday night because we talked about that last week. You have to play like you're playing for home field advantage in week 1. You just may have to visit Orchard Park again, as they say, the scene of the crime, where you have literally given the past 2 games away. You've given the past 2 games away because you've outplayed Buffalo for 3.5 quarters in both of those 2 games, and you've allowed turnovers and coaching decisions. Griff, why didn't they go for that 14-2 when you got Derrick Henry, who just ran for like 5,000 yards in one night?
I don't know, man, because I seen a whole bunch of people on the Buffalo Bills defense making business decisions over this. Right? They was making them jokes said, "I ain't touching him, you touch him. I ain't touching him." So I don't understand it, man. That for me, the way the defense was playing, you got the best player in the game. You got to leave that in the best player in the game hand. If you can't go for it on 4th and 2 with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, then that tells me you don't have trust in the team.
And you can't be trusting that defense that just gave up 38 points at that point.
It looked like he had. It looked like he had trust in the defense. He punched.
I don't understand the logic, man. I'm telling you, Jordan and Karen, you're absolutely right. Harbaugh got to go. I told you, remember at the end of last season, we should have done that Mike Tomlin for a John Harbaugh trade. It would have worked out perfectly for both teams, and both fan bases would have been rejuvenated and, looking forward to the 2025 season. Perfect segue. The next game, man, I was super excited to watch this game. And ladies and gentlemen, the Steelers and the Jets just did not disappoint. I'm so happy that Justin Fields had a phenomenal game. I'm extremely happy that Aaron Rodgers had a phenomenal game. We were entertained, ladies and gentlemen. We were entertained. Now, don't let all of the fluff actually remove you from the fact that both of these teams have some serious problems.
On the defensive side of the ball,
both of these teams have some serious potential just based off of what happened during the game. What was your big takeaway? Granted, the Pittsburgh Steelers got that last second field goal. Great, wonderful. What a way to start off the year for them. You have to be extremely happy for the Jets and what Aaron Glenn is putting together and what Justin Fields he will look like if he remains healthy in this season. But what came out of this game for you, Griff, that you can take away and say that Steeler Nation still got hope, and the Jets might just be respectable this year?
I think, man, like I said, I'm happy for Justin Fields, man, because I still feel like the young man ain't got a bad rep since he been in the league. People don't realize how many offensive coordinators this kid had since he been in the league when he was with Chicago as well as with Pittsburgh. I love the fact that, I like the way I seen him run the ball. But on the flip side, Aaron Rodgers, I said, okay, we got the 40-year-old coming out. He going to be a little shaky or whatever because the Jets, it ain't been their offense in the past that was the offense was the problem. It wasn't the defense. They defense with Quinn Williams and them guys, they know how to bring that heat. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers showed to me that he still got it in him. He still, and with Metcalf over there, but I think the problem gonna be with the Steelers is they're gonna have to establish some type of running game. It is obvious Najee is gone, and they didn't have what I don't even think anything that resembled a running game in this game. So those are the things that I saw, man. I thought it was better than I thought.
Hmm.
I didn't expect that this many points was going to be put on the board. The Jets had an awesome running game, so that should be a thing that the Steelers need to be thinking about too, because the Jets was able to run the ball at will. That's all I'm gonna say. But it looked like Justin Fields and his receiver from when they was at Ohio State together. They seem like they're a good connection, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Jets do the rest of the season.
No, you're absolutely correct. As it pertains to the potential that the Jets could possibly be, the Miami Dolphins look like they've rescinded back to being a team that is just in complete disarray, and the Jets, with a defensive-minded head coach in Aaron Glenn and a quarterback that now has the confidence of the organization that he has the necessary tools, the necessary weapons, right? And you talk about the relationship that he has with Garrett Wilson, that solid run game that we knew last year coming into this season was going to be able to produce. Not only did they produce against a quality defense, man, Pittsburgh is one of the better run-stopping defenses of the National Football League, and they have been for decades. That is their staple. They stand on nobody is going to get 100 yards on average against us in the run game. And the Jets were able to get a lot of good quality yards, both from running backs and from the quarterback on quarterback plan plays or just the pocket break it down. So I'm looking forward to what Justin Fields can do. I'm looking forward to how Aaron Glenn unpacks the Jets. And they should be an exciting team to watch over the next couple of months. Injury set aside, and we'll see how their schedule plays out. Now, on the opposite side of the ball, there was such tribulation, such apprehension about whether or not those Pittsburgh Steelers. I was having a friendly conversation with my brother Junior the other day, avid Steelers fan, right? Talking about their potential for 2025. And I made the bold statement. This was before the season started. I made the bold statement that this is going to be Mike Tomlin's first losing season, and he was just flabbergasted, just lost, like Troy had lost his best friend. And as I hate to quote Stephen A. Smith, but sometimes it just is.
Don't do it, man.
Hey, the opinions of the RoundTable co-hosts, they are fluid at times, right? And we can change our mind based on reassessment. And I don't know whether or not the Pittsburgh Steelers have it in them to have a losing season, let alone the way that they displayed the offensive capability on Sunday to be competitive in their division. So looking forward to what Aaron Rodgers does. Now, hey, that escapability is no longer there.
But he still can spin that ball, man.
He can spin that ball.
He can still spin
that ball. But that offensive line got to give him protection because he does not have this capability anymore. So we recognize that based on the pressure that the Jets were able to put on Aaron Rodgers at times. So let's make sure, Pittsburgh, that we beef up that offensive line if we want our quarterback to lead us into January.
We gotta get a running game, man. They're gonna probably have to go out there and get somebody, but they got you want to help Aaron Rodgers out establish a running game.
True that. True that. True that. And they weren't able to really do that on Sunday. I
Nope.
was I was somewhat surprised, but having DK Metcalf, that's
Again,
gonna take that's gonna take the cap off of some defense,
hey,
bro.
Aaron ain't had a receiver like that. Hey, when he get them guys right there, that's another business decision for a back. I mean, a
Right.
back.
And what I love about DK Metcalf, it is not necessarily the 60-yard deep threat. It is giving me a 10-yard hook route and I'm taking it to the house.
Mm-hmm.
70 yards because I have that Jamar Chase breakaway speed, that separation speed between step 1 and step 10. I'm already 2 yards ahead of you and I am expanding my distance. You know who else has that breakaway speed? Derrick Henry. Give him the ball, Baltimore, for the last time. Lord have mercy. Let us move on to a game that surprised a lot of people. Didn't surprise you, didn't surprise me because when I made mention that my man Jordan Love was a MVP candidate, Troy almost had a heart attack through the screen Friday night. I remember that, Troy. What do you think now? Huh? How big of an impact shall Michael Parsons have? It seems like he's already had an immediate impact. Same team that won 15 games last year. The exact same team that won 15 games last year. The exact same team that's even healthier than that 15-win team last year. Seemed a little bit befuddled on offense.
Not befuddled.
Befuddled on offense. Why do you believe since Ben Johnson walked out the door, all of the efficiency, the well-oiled machine, the epitome of game manager as a quarterback that Griff said he would take over Jordan Love a million times over because
Yeah, I
longevity.
said it. I'm gonna stand on business. One thing, I need to have a conversation with Joy too, because I'm gonna start watching what I say on the show, because it seems like all the real, I see what they talk about when they say fake news, man, because the reals don't capture everything. Because what I also said was Jared Goff is that guy. If they can keep him upright, if you don't put pressure on him, he will pick you apart. But hey, that's what Green Bay came. Because I'm gonna be honest, the Packers didn't do that much on offense. It was a defense that disrupted what had going on with Detroit, man. And Michael Parsons was definitely even though he only had one sack, his presence on the field was enough to get all the other guys involved and apply that pressure, man. When I looked at Jared Goff, uh, he looked like what is Darnold? Like Darnold did when he said he was seeing ghosts out there on the field.
Sam Darnold,
That's what he looked like this week. I was surprised, man. I did not think that this game was going. The score don't even reflect how the
terrible of a
the
matchup.
Lions was never in this game at
No.
all, ever. I mean, they shut down the runs. I'm expecting Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery to come out there and do what they do. Amon St. Brown to do what he do. I mean, when I say they completely shut that all down, they completely shut it down. And people can say, "Hey, Ben Johnson ain't there, Aaron Glenn ain't there," but like you said, those players are still there.
You're absolutely right. And
Campbell is still there. So
oddly enough, ladies and gentlemen, this was one of the very few games that was not a one-score game. And this was one of the very few games that was not even in contention or close. This game was dominated by the Green Bay Packers from beginning to end. Michael Parsons had an immediate impact. He only played 35, 40 plays. Not because of the back injury, it was simply because, get him back in the game shape. And we're going to see him with an increased amount of game plays come Thursday night when they take on the Washington Commanders. But the way that the Green Bay Packers dominated the Detroit Lions on defense versus Detroit's offense, I believe has a lot to do with the new system from the new offensive coordinator. Now, I was a little surprised that a Dan Campbell led team was not as sharp as you would expect them to be coming out of the gate. Understanding that this was a huge division game, a game where it could have and will have implications on who is the king of the North come January, and whether or not you're going to be hosting or going to somebody else's field for a playoff game. They were not ready. They weren't ready, like Kevin Hart once said. So we can't wait to see how both of those teams continue on their journey the rest of this month and next month.
Let's get into this Vikings and Bears game.
Man, this was a surprise, not surprise. Right? I knew the Bears were going to be more competitive this year. They were going to be better because that offensive mind, Ben Johnson, went from the Bears and brought it, or went from the Lions and brought it over to the Bears. I knew Caleb Williams was going to be better. This is his second year as a professional. I got it. This is a new offensive scheme again, but he was the number one pick for a reason, and he should have been coming into his sophomore season looking for vast improvement, not having a sophomore slump. So I was not surprised the way that the Chicago Bears started off the game. I was not surprised the way that the Minnesota Vikings started off the game because McCarthy had never played in a regular season. So this is his introduction into the NFL. So I expected him to be a little bit nervous, a little bit off kilter, but the way that this game ended, were you surprised that the Minnesota Vikings were able to stage a huge comeback? I guess that was the team of the weekend. Or was it that eventually the talent caught up with Minnesota or with Chicago? And
I see what I seen. It was a tale of two halves. That first half, it looked like Caleb. Caleb was running on all cylinders, man. I mean, he completed his first 10 passes. It just everything looked smooth. But that second half, Minnesota made their adjustments on defense. They was able to rally him, and then it was like they opened the book up for JJ a little bit. Like JJ in the first half of the game, they stuck to the script. He was somewhat nervous. He just needed to get his game legs underneath him. But in that second half of the game, it looked completely different, man. On both sides of the ball. That daggone defense, that looked like an old Flores defense over there that had Caleb Williams looking like running around again. They made them adjustments. They put their heat on him, and Caleb went right back in the rookie year. Caleb, instead of giving what the defense was giving him, he went to back to all that running around and stuff like that, man.
No, you're absolutely right. Flores made the proper adjustments at the halftime and changed his defensive attack scheme, which befuddled. Another time we're going to use the word befuddled tonight.
We need to count. Jordan, count how many times Drew used befuddled tonight.
That rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, and on the opposite side of the field, that fellow rookie quarterback, McCarthy, finally settled in, got his sea legs, reached out to his best target, the number one target in the National Football League next to Jamar Chase, Jordan Jefferson, and brought his team back, scoring the defining touchdown on a quarterback run and gaining all of the confidence of the team that wants him to not only be successful, but to be their leader, both inspirationally and on the field. And he proved that in the second half last night. So the highlights were not too big for him. Hometown game because he's a hometown Chicago kid, and looking forward to what they got going forward.
Yeah, it's just another one of those things. Again, I know we got to move on to the next one where it ain't over till it's over.
Yes, sir.
Everybody was. I was looking at the timelines. Yeah, they gonna hate that they got rid of Sam Darnold and all this other stuff. And them same people that said that by the end of the game, it's like, okay, we got our quarterback. So just go out there and play your game, man.
No, you're right. You're right. And some of the comments in the chat, you're right. Detroit did look flat in their presentation, so to speak. And Chicago is going to be better, and they're going to be competitive. The NFC North is the best division in football right now. Even with the AFC West having 3 of the 4 teams win this past weekend, oddly enough, the one team that did lose was the defending 10-time champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Long time ago, Friday night, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers hooked up in Brazil to open up their NFL 2025 season, and we ended up with a very good game. But you made mention a few minutes ago. It's never over until it's over. And the one team that I think about when you make that comment is the Kansas City Chiefs. So that is why I picked them to win that game coming into the season. That is why I still had the confidence that Patrick Mahomes was going to figure it out in the second half. But the Chargers came in prepared. The Chargers came in the better team, the more physical team, the more motivated and energized team. And I talked about how Jim Harbaugh always has this huge leap in year 2 of whatever coaching location he finds himself. And that team makes that huge leap. Remember, they were a playoff team last year. If not for those 4 interceptions that Justin Herbert had, they could have made some noise in Harbaugh's initial year. Can either Denver or Los Angeles win the division? And what do you want to see from the Chiefs with Worthy out, with Rice out? How are they going to get points now?
I mean, that's their problem right there. Who do they go to? I mean, one of the things that Patrick always had, he had Kelsey, but Kelsey is in football terms, he's a senior citizen right now. He don't move the way he looking like Jason Witten right now at tight end. You know, you lose Xavier Worthy, which they basically centered that whole offense around. He was supposed to be that guy. He was supposed to be they Tariq Hill, and then he get hurt. Rashid, right? And this is one of those things, man. Again, why I love football, because football is like the book of life. You talking about Rashid White because of his making an unwise decision and doing something, his actions hurt his team. Him being suspended for 6 games because of his foolishness. I just don't see the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't have the Chief. They don't have the Mike Tyson feeling that people used to have when they walk into the stadium. And I would say, and I'll shut up right here, Justin Herbert looked like Patrick Mahomes did in this game, man. I ain't never seen he was running, he was passing. I mean, he looked like a totally different person. But when you got a running game and you got a defense that got Patrick Mahomes running around like a chicken with his head cut off, which we all know that's all you got to do. Every team that can beat Patrick Mahomes is because they was able to get, because if he can pick you apart, he going to make stuff happen. But the Eagles and the Buccaneers is the 2 teams I can remember specifically that Patrick Mahomes during his run that he had most problems. It was because they was able to put the heat on him.
Yeah, you're right. Now, okay, we're going to move on, but Justin Herbert, 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. Let's not crown him the MVP just yet.
I ain't crowning it, man. I just said in this game, man. I just said in this game, I ain't crowning it. I talked about him. I talked about him, and that's why I said he was going to be the X factor. And in this game, he actually was, but not the way I said he was going to be the X factor.
You know, Griff, we could come back together with the RoundTable audience at the beginning of October and talk about the Kansas City Chiefs are in trouble because their schedule is tough coming out of the gate.
Yes, it is.
The next game is a rematch between the 2 Super Bowl teams that they have on their schedule. They could come out of September 1-3, 1-4. But we shall see, and I'm looking forward to see what they are going to do with Worthy out, with Rice out, with that running game not as established, that offensive line not as dependable as it once was. Travis Kelce can't get the separation. Tyreek Hill out there, possible. Prayed, but he done talk dirty about the Chiefs. Do they really want him back? They need help. They gonna need some help.
Tariq gonna be gone. He would not be in Miami by the end of this season. Trust and believe.
Oh no, I'm talking about before the trade deadline. Tyreek gonna be gone. But we gonna see. Let's move on, man. Let us move on to the dirty South, where the NFC South had 2 teams coming into the season with aspirations of winning the division. Now, Tampa Bay has been the division champs for the past 4 years since Baker Mayfield has arrived.
And they're going to be the division champ this year, too.
Really? I had an opportunity, again, watching NFL Red Zone to watch a couple of good plays in this game where Penix got a little something. He gonna have those dirty birds right there. Now, we know the fastest bird in the world is a falcon. It's not going to translate to the Atlanta Falcons, but I do believe they are going to be a problem because Raheem Morris is going to eventually put this team together. They have a lot of key positions that are difference makers, and it's not so quick to say. Well, not too quick for me to say that Tampa Bay has a lock on this division. Got it. This game could have gone either way. It
Yeah.
took a last minute touchdown by Baker Mayfield to get the Buccaneers over the hump, and the Falcons had the opportunity to tie the game. Their trusted kicker, missed the game time field goal as time expired.
Hey,
So,
hey, he had already he it was the right was on the wall. He had already he hit one, but it hit the uprights and bounced in. I said
right,
and
he was
somebody said I
complete.
jinxed him. I said I
Yeah, he
didn't
was
jinx
just
him. I
complete,
just said
man.
he's been having problems. I said I didn't jinx him. Now the commentators is the one that be jinxing kickers when them jokers get on. Oh, he ain't missed one in 100 kicks. This is gonna be a simple one, and it went wide. It went wide. Hey, so hey, Max, I'm sorry, man. I know that's your squad, man. But I ain't never been a Falcon fan, man. I'm just
Me
gonna be.
either. I mean, I'm glad they lost. I know that's not the best thing for all Falcons fans to hear. But hey,
They know how to party though. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you ain't never been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you don't have to bring your whole bank book there to eat. Look, man,
oh
me and the
yeah,
wife went there and ate for $25, and they give free refills on drinks.
yeah. I remember you going to that game last year with your little Cowboys jersey on. Talking
Man, I
about
was in there swagging and surfing, baby. I was in there with Big Boy and all them, Killer Mike. They was all in there, man. They
that.
had concerts there.
All right, dog. We'll see what each one of these two teams do over the next month. Hopefully, both of them lose all four of their games. All right, let us move on, man, to the Texans at the Rams. High hopes, high hopes, high hopes for both of these teams coming into the season. This game kind of played out as you would expect it.
Yeah.
I was expecting a little more from the Houston Texans, though, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to how Matthew Stafford is able to get Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua to work side by side because that could be a scary, scary good offense along with Williams coming out of the backfield if they are able to stay healthy. Because right now, just based off of the initial games, all four teams playing in all four divisions, the Rams are the team to beat in the NFC West, even though they didn't put nothing but 14 points on the board. I would still say that just the way that they played against a very tough Houston team, they come out of the gates looking better than you would think.
I wasn't expecting Matthew Stafford to come in and play the way he did, but 21 for 29 for 245 yards and a touchdown. Because that's been the conversation the whole off season. He ain't practiced. His back. He got back problems. They didn't know what they was gonna be able to do. But with Puka got his. Devontae Adams, Williams. Even though Troy said they don't have a running game, they had a running game. It did what it needed to do. I just think again, man, on the Houston side of the ball, that offensive line sucks for them. CJ is still under the duress. And I mean, I was happy to see Nick Chubbs out there and getting it in, but they're going to have to figure something out, man. I mean, they traded John Metchie. I really don't understand why they did that. Because, I mean, but they're going to have to figure something out. They got the defensive, they had the defense. I think with what they got on both sides, on them edges, Houston had what it takes, man. It's just on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive line is still a problem for them.
Yeah, no. D'Amico Ryans just has to make sure that that offensive scheme that we are going to hang our hat on in 2025 is something that we establish in the upcoming next couple of games because uh, being from the AFC South is always hit or miss with Indianapolis and Jacksonville. And it seems like 9-8, 10-7 may be able to win that division. But the Texans have to make sure that they settle on what their philosophy is and what their identity is going to be in 2025 and just run with it. Whether it's we are a dual threat offense or we are a run first offense or we're going to be a pass happy offense, mimicking what you see in Baltimore, then we have to establish that. This wasn't a game for it to happen, but looking forward to what they got going on down there in
I'm gonna make
H-Town.
a bold.
Now,
I'm gonna make a bold statement. I'm gonna make a bold statement. Danny Dimes and the Colts gonna take this division.
no. Danny Dimes is not going to finish the season, but that's another
Man,
conversation.
I'm just playing. You know, I'm just playing. Man,
Uh,
like a pro.
as Karen said when she showed up for the show, I'm only here so I don't get fined. We're only talking about this game because we're contractually obligated. Because these are two teams that surprised a whole lot of people at the end of the last season, simply because of how they ended their season. The Raiders on a tailspin.
I'm happy for Troy, man.
New
I'm happy.
England having hopes and dreams with that one and done rookie head coach who was a former player, not to only hire another former player that Robert Kraft preferred, and lofty expectations this year because this is Drake May's sophomore year. And we're looking for vast improvement. We have Stephon Diggs there. We opened up at home against a 5-12 team from 2024, and we could not take care of business. How about them Raiders, Troy?
Hey
You got
man,
dreams, Troy?
hey man, Gino came in there and did his thing. I guess the question is,
I
yeah, hey,
told you.
hey, he did, man. Gino came and did his thing, man. He talking about 362 yards, touchdown, one interception. The problem is that hey, his primary receiver. I don't know. I ain't got an injury report on Brock Bowers, man. But you know he ended up leaving that game. That could be detrimental to their health. But
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Myers had a great game, man, and they look good on the offensive side of the ball. I think Ashton Jenkins only gonna get better as the
Yeah,
season go on.
yeah, yeah,
But I would say this about the Patriots: the Patriots only gonna get better as the season go on too.
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, this game could have went either way. I ain't gonna lie. I was pulling for the Patriots because I just didn't want to get Troy. I just wanted his weekend to be miserable, but they won. So
Yeah, yeah. So I was pleasantly surprised with the Raiders. Pete Carroll is one of the best coaches of the 21st century. So you would expect nothing less. Gino, who is my guy, I knew was going to ball out. And if the Raiders can stay healthy with a solid run game and Genty have a 12 to 1,500 yard season, the Raiders could possibly have a winning record at the end of the year. So we shall see. Now, this next game, this was a if there is going to be an upset this weekend, it could possibly be this game. Griff said, Griff
did I
said,
say that? I didn't say that. I ain't say that. I ain't
Griff said, I believe Griff picked the G-men
no,
to
I didn't.
cover this
No, I didn't.
with a dub. But the Washington Commanders opened up their season at home against a division rival in the New York Football Giants with a new revamped offense, new quarterback, with lofty expectations both for the starting quarterback and for the backup quarterback, Russell Wilson being the starter, Jackson Dart being the number two, and you have a very trusty Jameis Winston as your number three emergency quarterback. Well, the Giants came in looking like the Giants from 2024. And Russ did not have the opportunity to even put on an apron, let alone try to cook. That offense looked terrible, like Charles Barkley would love to say. They looked terrible. Now, the defense does give them something to kind of hang their hat on because they were able to hold a very good, in my opinion, Washington Commanders offensive team that is only going to get better with McLaurin getting more acclimated to the season, being that he was a hold-in during training camp. And once he and his quarterback, Jaden Daniels, are able to really lock in, I believe that the Washington Commanders are going to go on a early season run where they're going to beat some teams on their schedule that they may not be favored to beat. And we shall see how they settle in. But this game, man, well, did Russ prove to you that, hey, I'm not going to make it past Halloween as the starter? Or do you give him past September?
Nah, I mean, the people up there already been wanting Jackson Dart. They wanted him to start before the season even started. Man. And Dabo was hesitant to say that Russ was going to be starting. He didn't came out now and say he's going to start next game. But if it don't get no better, man, I don't see Russ making it to half point of the season. Melissa, you're absolutely right. I said Washington was going to have the season wasn't going to be the same. I'm gonna say this again. I still stand on business. I still don't think it's gonna be the same. This is just the first week, and they played the Giants. I think we just gave the Giants. I think people gave the Giants more credit than we thought. Everybody heard about the Giants and how good they look, how good they looked at preseason, and all this other bull crap. But they the same old Giants. And,
They
hey,
are.
and Dabo, man, this might be it for him and that GM too. If they don't check right.
Yeah, yeah. Dabo is on the hot seat.
Mhm.
John Harbaugh is on the hot seat. I know I have a track record of calling for coaches who are eventually going to be terminated and relieved of their duties. Uh, John Harbaugh is on the hot seat. It's Super Bowl or bust, just like Ryan Day was on the hot seat last year for Ohio State. Dabo, it is. We need to have a winning record, or you're gone. And Russ, man, bro, you only got a couple of weeks.
Man, but here's the other piece
You
about
only
it.
got a
I
couple of
mean,
weeks.
we got to move on to the next one. But I mean, Russ was the leading rusher too.
I
So
understand.
I mean, we again they got a lot of problems up there on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes, sir. Now, the battle for OHIO, talking about Ryan Day, the battle for Ohio, the Ohio State Championship between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know what to say about this game.
Hey, they won.
Hey,
The Bengals got past that, not starting off. They won. That's all I can say, man. Because I can tell you who looked like the better quarterback in this game for me. And it was the old guy.
yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, but Cincinnati, even though Trey Hendrickson is a sack king, when you see Miles Garrett coming at you, man, and it ain't nothing between you and him but space,
The
an
offensive.
opportunity that he obviously wants to take, it kind of puts a little bit of doubt in your mind. And that he put on my man Joe, bruh, I think that kind of took the wind out of his sails, and he kind of coasted for the rest of the game. And the Bengals were lucky to get out of there with a hard fought victory. So I got it. Zachary Taylor, you are finally off the snide for losing the opening season game for the past 3, 4, 5 years. But you cannot go 1-4. You have to continue to trend. And that defense surprised me a little bit. Even though Joe Flacco looked like the better quarterback on Sunday, the Cincinnati defense looked like the better defense.
They got two interceptions, man. But Joe Flacco, I mean Joe Burrows, your boy,
That's my guy.
113 yards.
That's okay. You got,
113 yards. Jamar Chase, your guy.
you
Hey
got
man,
the baby. That's what that
to me
matters.
they still. I mean, Joe Burrows is supposed to be that guy, man, but they just don't give that offensive line is still the Achilles heel of the
No, you're right.
Cincinnati Bengals, man.
You're right. The offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals is going to be their Achilles heel all year. The offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be their Achilles heel all year. We shall see how those things unfold. Man, week one was something, as we did in our promo clip for the books, and set some awesome storylines for 2025. And the NFL schedule is something to kind of ponder and say, well, you either have a lot of uninterested games at the very beginning of the year, or you pack a whole lot of very good games at the very beginning of the year. On paper, this past weekend looked like there was going to be some good games. It turned out all of those games, with the exception of the Packers and the Lions game, were very good
No,
games.
don't let Miami off the hook.
Well, yeah, I take that. Well, we haven't talked about Miami,
Okay,
so
I said
you
don't let them
know,
off the hook.
even the well, I ain't even talk about that team. Uh, Heading into week two, we got a barn burner right out of the gate. We got the best sophomore coming into the NFL, Jaden Daniels, leading the Washington Commanders, who have high hopes because they were 12-5 last year. They went from 4-13 to 12-5, and the darling of everyone's fantasy teams. And I want to see succeed. They were the team of destiny last year. Now we have lofty expectations. We have a quarterback who has not only adapted to the NFL, but has kind of taken over the NFL with what can he do? The Packers.
I think Jalen ain't gonna be
Michael
running.
Parsons. I want to talk about Michael
Yeah,
Parsons and
yeah,
Jaden Daniels.
it's gonna be different.
Michael Parsons, when asked, smiled and said he's just that dude is something else. He has it. He has it. You can't just lock in on him. You have to have a plan. How do you think this game turns out, man? And how do you think the Packers can defend home field again if they want to start 2-0 and
Well,
claim that title as the king
well,
of
they
the North?
gonna well, Michael Parsons is gonna be the dude that they had to spy. Jaden, that's gonna be his only responsibility, and he's probably the only person on the field that can run with him. And
Mm.
so I think with him having that ability to disrupt, and we've already seen what they defensive line can do. I mean, they rushing three, maybe four, and they allow that pressure. It gives Michael Parsons the ability to do what he need to do to keep Jalen. Jalen gonna have to. I think he gonna have to perform more inside that pocket as well. I don't think he's gonna be able to use his legs as much in this game. I think if they maintain the edge integrity, Michael Parsons be that spy. Yeah, hey, they're gonna need a big game from McLaurin, and then these running backs gonna have to step their game up.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm looking for an extremely exciting game. I do believe that the Packers are coming in with lofty expectations. Their victory against the Lions not only gave them the confidence that they wanted and needed coming into the season, but the way that they beat the Lions is how it is going to springboard them. Now, I made mention about 10 minutes ago that the Washington Commanders are going to go on an early season run. This is where that run starts. They were expected to beat the Giants. But going into Green Bay, going into Lambeau Field on Thursday night in front of a national audience with how the Packers look on Sunday against a division rival and what the expectations are for Jordan Love, what the expectations are for that defense now that Micah Parsons has joined it. And you know he's going to make everybody else better, right? And it's only going to make the defense better. And he's going to have more of an impact in the game on Thursday than he did on Sunday. And he is going to be used to spy Jaden Daniels in a way where I'm not only going to rush, but I'm going to slightly make sure that I'm pushing back if he decides to run. Now, I believe, and this is going to be able to tell you and me apart from the very beginning. You said that sophomore slump is likely to happen. This is the game early in the season that proves that sophomore slump shall not happen. Washington will have another successful year, 11-6, 12-5, depending on how the schedule plays out and injuries and whatnot. But this game on Thursday night, I think they travel to Lambeau. I think they travel to the home where Jordan Love is spreading all of the love with his teammates and providing that confidence with Matt LaFleur's offense. The Commanders, slight upset and knock off the Packers. What you got?
I got the Packers in this game. I
Okay.
know Jordan just did the buzzer, but I got the Packers, man. Jalen Daniels, I like the kid, but I just think the Packers is the most complete team between these two. And if they make a run, it won't be in this game. And like Troy said, Josh Jacobs is going to be the X factor in this game.
I feel you. I got you. I mean, last on opening season or opening weekend, I went with the home teams. On this one, I'm going with the visitors, and I think the visitors got something for them.
Go ahead, my boy.
Now, man, we had some good games in college football this past weekend too, man. I caught a couple of them. Nothing real major other than the Florida Gators getting spanked by an intrastate rival. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But the introduction of conference play is happening. Some teams start off with a conference rival, and in week 2, week 3, week 4 is when we start to roll out who are going to be these national powerhouses. And I am looking forward to seeing what my Tigers got in Tiger Stadium in Death Valley on Saturday night against the Florida Gators. This is always a game between two teams, two SEC rivals. that is close. Records usually don't really matter because on any given Saturday, like you love to say, anybody can beat anybody. But these are the 2025 LSU Tigers that have lofty, and I do mean lofty, expectations of being not only in the playoff but contending for a national championship, are welcoming in the very disliked Gators from Gainesville into Death Valley. Do you think an unranked Florida and Billy Napier can go into Death Valley and knock off Brian Kelly, who has a little bit of in his step and his chest is poking out a little bit after two wins early in the season? You looking for an upset or with my Tigers?
No, I really not, man. After the game, Florida against USF and losing that game and how they lost that game, I think LSU kind of surprised me when I watched that game as far as the defense, because I told you that's what I thought was going to be the problem for LSU. If the defense come in there and play the way that they playing and the way, lag way been playing for Florida, I just don't see it happening. Billy Napier is really, he's playing for his job as well. He was in the hot seat last year. The only reason why he still got a job is because he won on the back end. But he done put himself right back in the hot seat again with that loss to USF. So I got LSU in this game.
Yeah, and my Tigers defense, the vast improvement in defense. You have some bookends in the linebacking core with Perkins and Will Weeks. With Weeks, you have the Weeks triplets all on defense for the LSU Tigers, and all of them get some linebacker playing time. That defense is much more aggressive because of the transfer portal and Brian Kelly's recruitment of key players at key skill positions on defense, preferably in the defensive backfield, where the aggressiveness and the size and the speed has matched to what you traditionally expect out of an LSU defense, no matter the time of the year. And on offense, with the gunslinger and arm of Garrett Nessmeyer, and a offensive run game that is on the edge of being scary good. We're not there yet with Dupree, but the familiarity that the freshman running back, I believe his name is Kelly, brought in, or Miller, on the game Saturday night against Louisiana Tech, giving me some confidence that LSU will be able to have that balanced run pass attack. So I'm looking for them to take care of business. But we'll talk about this game again on Friday night. But my first impression would be that LSU will be able to defend home field at Death Valley, where dreams come to die, and send Florida back home with their second consecutive L, because they did lose to USF that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Now, this next game, man, let's move on to the next one, Jordan, where you have the 6th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs traveling to Knoxville to take on a Tennessee Volunteers team that is, has potential. Josh Heupel has a quarterback that is familiar and comfortable in his offensive style. Georgia hasn't played anybody yet this year. So you don't really know what Kirby Smart has put together. They haven't been tested. This is both the first. This is the first test for both Florida or Georgia and for Tennessee. And you would expect Georgia to be able to travel, but again, you haven't seen what Georgia has really. You've seen that Tennessee has a little bit of potential based off of how they performed in their opening game of the season. Can Tennessee defend home field, or will the Bulldogs and UGA just go into Knoxville and take care of business?
It's not easy playing in Neyland Stadium, especially right now, man. That home field advantage is definitely going to have something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think how Georgia's able to handle the fast paced offense of Tennessee is going to be the deciding factor. Georgia has a great defense. They love to suffocate and do, but Tennessee they play that fast that offense where Georgia won't be able to get their guys substituted, and it can cause problems. And I think this could be this could be possibly two of the teams at the back end that we probably be looking at, competing for the SEC championship game.
Yeah. And No other heart in the comments said that Brian Kelly is on borrowed time. You're absolutely right. Brian Kelly's on borrowed time. DeBoer is on borrowed time. John Harbaugh is on borrowed time. My man in the Giants is on borrowed time. It's win or go home, right? It's win or go home for all of these head coaches because the talent on the team mandates that you at least are competitive, and you not making it to the college football playoffs. I know for the LSU Tigers is not only going to be unacceptable, but the whatever the buyout price is going to be, we shall put it together.
They are here, man. They get Troy a bit. You know, there's a lot of Georgia fans. There's a lot of people from the great state of Georgia on here. So, and Troy talking about their squad name, appreciating it, man. But I think this should be a very good. It's probably going to be one of the better SEC games. And I just like with the new 12 game playoffs, how we getting all these good games up front.
Right,
These
right.
are the best time to play these games, and these are the best time to lose these games.
No, there is never a good time to lose the game, sir.
It's how you lose. It's how you lose. Yes, it is.
And understand that everybody, with the exception of my Grandma State Tigers, who went up to Ohio State and Columbus on Saturday and just got the bejesus beat off.
The band look good.
Nothing. But hey, everybody is susceptible to getting beat. Do not think simply because of the legacy that you have, the history behind the jersey that you are wearing, that you're automatically going to go into somebody's stadium and knock them off. So Georgia's going to have to earn this one. I'll pick this one on Friday. I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether or not Tennessee can defend home field. Now, this game last year made Notre Dame's season coming right out of the gate. But again, this is an SEC team that has potential of making it to the college football playoffs. Texas A&M got all the college money that you can fuss.
We got that all money here, baby, in the state of
They
Texas.
got all money down there in Texas, right? So Texas A&M always has five-star athletes on the field. Notre Dame has what they believe the team to get them back to not only the college football playoff, but to make a deep run and possibly compete for a national championship again. Can Texas A&M travel to South Bend, Indiana in early September and knock off an Irish team that, again, has his eyes set on the college football playoffs?
This is going to be a tough one, man. The thing that Notre Dame is coming off a bye week. They had a chance to rest after getting beat by Miami, and so they got something to prove. So and they at home. But the good thing for Texas A&M, that kid, that dual threat quarterback that they got back, this is his second year. He came in on the back end last year, and so I think it's going to be a close game. I think that again, Notre Dame quarterback is going to have to do something. I think A&M is going to stop that running game for what Notre Dame is known for, running the ball. They don't do a lot of passing or whatever. They play good defense. But I think in order for Notre Dame to win, their quarterback gonna have to play. He gonna have to play some good ball.
Okay. Well,
Just my thought.
Okay, I feel you on that. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. So it sounds like you're leaning SEC. I think I may be leaning SEC at least going into the weekend. We'll talk about it more on Friday night.
Yes,
But
sir.
just based off of what I saw from the Texas A&M Aggies, based off of their young season thus far, they have that offensive firepower that can put a lot of points on the board, right? And Notre Dame is not just running you out of the stadium. So we shall see. We'll talk about this one on Friday night.
Troy said he hoped A&M travel their ass to hell.
Did they beat South Carolina last year?
I know LSU did. I know Alabama did.
Yes. And if we play again this year, we shall have a repeat. But this game, everybody's favorite quarterback to talk about, Carson Beck, the new quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes. Is the U back, or
defense,
or shall South Florida, who sent Florida packing, go into Miami, the 305, and destroy Miami's hopes and
If
make
anybody, I'm gonna
themselves.
say this, Drew. If anybody can do it, see, I got a lot of respect for South Florida. South Florida gave Alabama hell 2 years in a row. That's all I can say. And and
That
and,
they
and,
did.
and we ain't the only team that they done it to. They
Mhm.
always at some point they be leading or whatever. So if anybody can go in there and do it, I mean they have everything to gain and nothing to lose in this game. Miami, if they hopes to make it to the end, yeah, they get that defense got to stay on point like it was. But I don't think it's gonna be an easy game as people think it's gonna be.
No, this is going to be an exciting game. I think this is going to be a nail biter. And I don't know the time of the game. I haven't looked that up, but I hope it's Saturday night. I hope it's a late game. And that's when you have all of the excitement coming out of Miami. Now, a couple of NFL games that I kind of want to look ahead to this weekend, excluding the Commanders Packers game. Two big games that I have my tentacles just standing up at attention for, and that is the rematch. That is the rematch between the defending Super Bowl champions and the defending AFC champions. The Kansas City Chiefs are hosting the Philadelphia Eagles at Arrowhead. Now, we saw how the Eagles came out of the gates last weekend against the Cowboys. They've had 10 days off. The Chiefs traveled to Brazil on Friday, got beat down by the Chargers. They've had 9 days off. They link up on Sunday. Do you foresee a repeat from what we had in the Super Bowl, or will Kansas City be better prepared? I know we
Nah.
talked about Worthy, we talked about Rice being out, and hey, Andy Reid is a mastermind. Do you see him being able to befuddle his old team?
Hey, I'm gonna give Andy Reid. I'm gonna give credit, and that's 3 times. Hey, Troy. Jordan, you was supposed to capture that. He didn't use before it again.
3 times.
I just think I'm gonna be honest, man. I just think that the Eagles has the Chiefs number, brother. I mean, really, the Eagles had them. The Super Bowl that they lost to the Chiefs, they had the Chiefs number,
Mm-hmm.
and the Chiefs is not even half the team that they was last year. I just don't see it. Me personally, I don't. I mean,
We'll talk more about this game on Friday night, but I'm looking forward to see how Philadelphia's offense unfolds, right? And how what identity are they going to have this year? Jalen Hurts didn't have a big passing game against the
he don't
Cowboys,
have to.
although he had a very good run game against the Cowboys.
He don't. I like the way you put that in there. But Jalen Hurts. See, here's the thing about the Eagles, and I'm gonna shut my mouth because I got to give credit with credit. They don't have to have no identity, man. All they got to win. The only people that talk about them and their identity is the people that ain't out there on the field. Jalen Hurts do what he has to do. That at every level that kid been in, all he know how to do is win, and he gonna do whatever he need to do for his team to win. They gonna have Jaden Carter back. That's a whole nother story all by itself because
Yeah, hard too.
your boy gonna be running. I feel bad for Patrick Mahomes because Carter's back. He didn't get suspended. All he got was fined $57,000. Yeah, he finna pay for that game that he didn't get a chance to play in the Cowboy game. It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, this most likely could turn out to be a similar game that we saw in the Super Bowl with the front line for the Philadelphia Eagles applying all of the necessary pressure. They don't have to blitz against Patrick Mahomes and send additional packages to apply pressure. And since the Kansas City Chiefs don't have the receiving core to defend against that or to apply pressure, this could be one of those games where Kansas City gets beat down at home. But when I made mention about Jalen Hurts, and the reason that I brought Jalen Hurts up, and thank you for highlighting, he always does what he needs to do to win. That's just who he is. But I'm talking about the identity of the Philadelphia Eagles. Are we going to be a run-focused team like we were last year with Saquon, or are we going to try to open up the playbook a little bit with our new offensive coordinator and make us more of a 50-50 run pass type team, or are we going to use the arm that we're paying Jalen Hurts $260+ million for to get AJ Brown the ball, get Devontae Smith the ball, get Dallas got it, because we know that all of the receivers that the Philadelphia Eagles have do have the ability to separate. And I say it all the time about the Philadelphia Eagles. Just because we don't doesn't mean we can't. And that is the approach they take. We do what we need to win. We adapt to the team that we're playing against. But every team has to have that offensive identity to hang their hat on, whether or not we're a run first team or we're a pass first team, or we're gonna see how everything goes, and we're just gonna utilize the weapons that we have. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, you know my philosophy: be a run first team, run, open up the pass. And with Saquon Barkley over there, that's their identity. Getting the ball to AJ and them, and I know they was upset last year, but Jalen throw the ball down the field when he needed to throw the ball down the field. That's all I can tell you. Saquon is the guy for this team. That's their identity.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm smiling not because of the commentary that Griff provided, although it was very astute and very knowledgeable and very understanding. But this next game that I want to talk about, my brother, to close out tonight's episode, we talked about Brian Daboll being on a hot seat, and the Jeep men are going to either go to their rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, possibly after the next game, depending on how the next game rolls out. But on the opposite side of the ball, ladies and gentlemen, we have the young rookie head coach Morty Schottenheimer Jr., who has put together a Dallas Cowboys team that surprised a whole lot of people last week against the defending Super Bowl champions. I, for one, did not believe the Dallas Cowboys was going to come into this season looking like a legitimate NFL team, especially after they decided to trade away their very best player. Now, was that an anomaly? Or was that a precursor as to how the 2025 Dallas Cowboys are going to look? Dak is back. Dak is healthy. Dak looked like his arm is strong. You got CD Lamb on one side. You got George Pickens on the other side. And it looks like you may even have Drew Pearson streaking down the middle sometimes. Well, we're going to see what the Dallas Cowboys can put together. But if y'all mess around and lose to a Giants team this weekend, Griff, the entire show going to be talked about the Dallas Cowboys next Tuesday. That's why I wanted to introduce you on this show this Tuesday.
I'm gonna set a sub in.
Huh?
I'm gonna be. Hey, we lose. I'm gonna be in the witness protection program.
No, man, seriously. Based off of how impressive, at least the offense for the Dallas Cowboys looked last Thursday, and what the expectations are in Dallas. I know you're plugged into the Cowboys camp, and understanding that every game is important. The Giants are better than what they showed against the Commanders, in my opinion. Russ still has an arm. We saw it in the preseason. The Cowboys and the Giants always play each other hard. These games are usually close. Are you looking for a close game like between the Eagles and the Cowboys, or should the Cowboys win this one going away at home?
No, I mean, again, you just said it. The games are normally close, man. And as much as we talking about Russ, the Giants got a good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a good defense, but if your offense keep on going 3 and out, they get tired, and that's what normally happens, and that's what happened with them against the Commanders. The Cowboys gonna have to establish a run like they did against the Eagles, and I know Troy say I always say it, but hey, it worked. I mean, that's how I got my 3 Super Bowls because of a running game. The running game is what opened up the passing game. CD gonna have to make catches that really matter, not the ones that get his stats up, but when I need a catch that gonna really make a game decision, that's what I need. But when it comes to the Giants and the Cowboys, those games are always gonna be a close game, man. But hey, we'll see.
Man, the bass that you had in your voice when you brought up CD Lamb's name, are you blaming CD for the loss that y'all took on Thursday?
I'm not gonna blame CD. CD wasn't the only person that dropped passes. I'm just gonna say, well, it's a couple of things I'm gonna say. Some of it was coaching too, because we got away from the running game that was working so well against the Eagles, and I don't think we got the ball to Pickens enough. And hey, y'all see the book up there. If you ain't got your "Don't Talk About It, Be About It," you better make sure you get it. And that's coming from the what you said, the CBA. Um,
Griff has spoken. and he is expecting the $35 million man. And yes, I did say the $35 million man to catch the damn ball, as
Come on,
Keyshawn
man.
once said.
I just want him to catch a ball and just go back and act like you're a receiver number one. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. I saw your comment after the game. Do you honestly believe CeeDee Lamb is not a true NFL number one receiver? Jordan, make that a poll question for Friday night show, and send the link out so the roundtable audience can vote from now until
Please,
Friday,
please do.
and we will post the results of this question on
Hey,
Friday night show. Is CeeDee Lamb a true NFL, not Dallas, a true NFL number one receiver? Meaning
Drew is
that,
asking that. Drew is asking that to y'all round table because he already know how I feel. He asking y'all that round table, so
yeah.
y'all need to make sure y'all chime in on that.
And Troy, be objective. He's not trash. He's getting paid $35 million for a reason.
Man,
Okay.
because a bad general manager slash owner slash president slash P Diddy of the NFL. That's why he
Hey,
get paid that much.
he, that's y'all business. I don't care. Uh,
Hey, let me tell Harry this right for Harry. It ain't just been one game. Trust me. This, if you've been following me, I've been talking about CeeDee Lamb ever since Amari Cooper has left. CeeDee Lamb will get the catches for stats, but when the game is on the line, that's what I call receiver number ones at. When the game is on the line, when a drive need to continue to be going, that's when CD drop balls that's in his hand. Because I'm telling you, they can say what they want. Dak was threading that ball last week.
what I shall never do is I shall never defend the Dallas Cowboys. But what you not gonna do is talk about that Louisiana young man like he's
I am.
not
That's why
the
I'm here.
number one receiver for your team.
That's
Put
why
some
I'm
respect
here.
on his name.
But Drew, that's why I'm here. So you don't have to.
I feel you, dog. Hey, phenomenal show, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent weekend of football. And I meant it when I said at the top of the hour that the NFL put together a phenomenal, and I keep saying phenomenal for a reason, package of games this past weekend. And it only gets better, and betterer every single week. Starting off with the Thursday night game between the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers. Griff, thank you for sharing these past 78 minutes with me as we talked about the football actions of this past weekend and what we plan on seeing this upcoming weekend. You got anything for the roundtable audience on our
All I
inaugural
got,
show for the year?
again, as always, man, I'm glad that Facebook acted right tonight, where people can actually get on here and make comments and stuff. Thank y'all for always, supporting us. We truly appreciate it. As always, and every week I ask you, just make sure you bring a friend, bring somebody. If you enjoy it, I know somebody else going to enjoy it too. And just make sure we keep the word out, man, because I appreciate y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all back here on Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, as Griff mentioned, to all of you who participated in the show through Facebook. For those of you who watched on YouTube, thank you for joining us. For those of you who engaged on TikTok, thank you for joining us. As Griff also mentioned, please ensure that you continue to support the information that we are sharing, all sports related, all football related, college football and NFL. Excited about a new season. Week 1 is in the books. We are looking forward to the dialogue over the next 6 months with each and every one of you. And as we do every single year that we've been on this journey together, at some point during the season, if your team is doing well or has a big game on the docket and you feel like you are just confident enough to come on and explain what you believe your team needs to do, like Jordan does with guest appearances, feel free to let us know, and you'll be able to join the cast and share what you believe your team is going to be this upcoming year. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Drew, let me throw this in here right fast. First, need people to go scan that QR code, Jordan, to put on the screen for the question that Drew asked about. Is CeeDee Lamb a receiver number one? And two, October the 10th, man, I'm gonna be out the net for a wedding. So, hey, we need somebody to come on here to talk football with Drew. So hit us up. I mean, y'all sit on here in that chat. Y'all be talking real good in the chat section. No,
Hey.
just throwing that out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So mark your calendars, October the 10th. We're going to need a guest host to backfill Griff. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, phenomenal opening weekend of football. Looking forward to week 2 and how the season continues to unfold both in the NCAA and in the NFL. So enjoy the rest of your week. We shall see you all right here on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube, Facebook Live, and TikTok Live. Y'all have a beautiful, safe, and a blessed week. Take care of yourselves. Do something nice for yourself. Take care of your family. Do something nice for your family. And if you haven't already done so, please ensure that you reach out to the CBSA, the cultural best-selling author, Garrett Griffin, for your copy of in hardback or paperback. Don't talk about it. Be about it. A guide to how to get yourself from where you are to the next step and next phase in your journey as whoever you are. Y'all have a blessed week, man. We shall see y'all on Friday. Do something nice for your family, as I just mentioned, and given the opportunity to do something nice to somebody that you may not even know, because it just might be the best thing that happens to them on that particular day. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be breezy.